How much do you know about K-food? How much hanshik have you eaten?
We invite you into the world of Korean food, of course, including the history and culture of it.
We'll introduce trendy foods and famous restaurants on Dish of the Day with
Chef Ryan Phillips.
Tuesdays is Food Days on the show. Chef Ryan has been on for many a year, and we're still discovering dishes that we haven't tried in the studio.
That's so true.
It's amazing.
Are you seeing some of your favorite ingredients in here?
I see it. Right now, I saw perilla leaf,
and there's another one in there I bet you hate too.
Oh, dear.
What's that other green? Do you recognize that other green in there that you probably hate? You can avoid it easy enough.
Is there cilantro in there?
Nope.
Oh, good.
No,
because that would really put me off. And that is not a traditional whatever we're doing today. We'll keep it under wraps. I'm just going to not think about it while we have a little small talk in the opening.
We'll leave it over there.
How has your week been, Ryan? We were talking about big temperature differences in the opening, and many people catching a cold, myself included. Have you managed to stay away from that with your garlic honey remedy?
Garlic every morning, man, keeps me good. I did get close because, man, I made this crazy ice cream sandwich last week.
I saw on social media with the cookies. You made that.
That was like, well, me and Chef James, my cohort, my buddy, we were down near Songtan Air Base, Osan Air Base, and we got a Philly cheesesteak and stuffed, and then it was my silly idea. I was like, there's that high-end cookie shop over here, and there's a chain ice cream place over there.
Let's combine the two.
Let's make ice cream sandwich.
Oh my
And these
God.
were 15,000 won ice cream sandwiches because like $10 ice cream sandwich.
Wow.
Because each cookie was $5.
They were big cookies as well.
It was kind of ridiculous. By the last few bites, I was
You ate the whole thing?
This is a bad idea.
Wow.
But it was really good. And hey, sometimes you just gotta have fun.
I love a cookie ice cream.
God, it was so good. But that must have been like over 3,000 calories easily. Just ice cream sandwich.
Oh my God.
Because all the fat in the ice cream and the sugar, and then the fat and the sugar in the cookies were huge.
Oh, they used to sell. Was it in Korea? It was definitely in the UK for a time. Like the Ben and J, let's call it that. Those cookie ice cream sandwiches, in the convenience stores and stuff. But they've disappeared completely.
I haven't ever seen them already pre-made.
No, but they were really good. And they're a bit thinner than your cookies.
They'd probably be $8 a pop.
They were super expensive because Ben and J's and also the Hug-in-D's, a tub of that is like, what, 16,000 won, 15,000 won if it's not on offer. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, you've made me want ice cream. That can
sometimes get me sick. If I overdo it on the sugar, it might throw me out of balance. But I was okay. I was all right. We were good.
Well, talking about being all right, today's hashtag is kibun, as in mood. How do you get yourself out of a bad mood, Ryan? You're never in a bad mood when I see you, to be honest.
Exercise.
Oh, really?
Definitely.
Does that reset you?
Yeah, going for a run.
Yeah.
But the other thing, and I've been doing this even longer than running, is go to the market.
Oh, really?
I go to the big food markets.
When you're not feeling great or stuff, does that help cheer you up or something?
Every time.
Wow.
Every time. Go walk around the market, and here, we have so much seasonal stuff all the time. There's some, even if you go to the market just, let's say, once a week, you're going to see new stuff every week.
Yeah.
Or something that last week was kind of expensive has dropped in price or gone the other way or whatever. And there's always something cool. And then, so you haggle, you get some cool stuff, you start planning your dinner, you cook something nice, and that always cheers me up. Yeah.
Well, that's a great thing. If you like cooking. If you don't, like me and my missus, I think, planning a dinner sounds like a headache to me. We'll get some nice food, but something that you can eat straight away, like maybe some raw fish or something like that. If there's too much cooking involved, like too much process, I get a headache. But
so what's your trick then?
For getting out of a bad mood? I don't know. I'm blessed that I don't get in bad moods very often, and sometimes I do spiral. I think when I do get in a rare bad
Chicken
mood,
Little, the sky is falling.
It's not good. Yeah. So maybe that's why the heavens have blessed me with a lack of bad moods. Fingers crossed. But my kids, I think they do cheer you up, don't they? When they're being happy, unless they put me in the bad mood, then it's not working.
You just got to go for a walk. Get some fresh air.
Get out of the family mode. Today's dish, it's really interesting. I said I I first gave the hint that it lives in a shell, the main ingredient, and then I said it lives in the sea, and now we've got a bowl full of it with lots of green stuff as well. It's a big mishmash. What are we talking about today?
Well, I can't say that it really lives in the sea. It kind of lives in the mud.
Oh, yes, that sounds even more delicious.
Kind of just lives in the mud, and if we say the translated name, everybody's going to run for the hills. So we're going to leave that alone for a while and try to entice you with this first. This is a really incredibly delicious and seasonal clam that we're talking about today.
Okay.
And there's actually a few, but the general name of them is komak.
Komak. Okay, so we got a photo here to show because there are different size ones and different shapes, so they have different names in Korean, but the family is komak.
Right, and only the two on the left in this picture are actually komak. The one on the right is its larger cousin that is technically not a komak.
Okay.
And again, we'll leave the full translated name out for right now, unless you speak Korean and can read that yourself. Anyway, so we have cham komak and we have se komak. Se komak, the middle picture, is the one that is so everywhere right now.
Okay.
And man, it's got these like zebra stripes on it. It kind of has these little hairs on it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's these little black hairs.
Okay.
So it's kind of like white shell and then little black hairs in those stripes. Really cool looking. And they're everywhere right now. And there's some dishes that are made with this. And we brought in one of the most kind of iconic dishes that's made with the sekomak.
Okay, and it's a small little shell that you're looking for, like in this picture.
3 to 4 centimeters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not a big shellfish. Sometimes when they get too big, they look a bit too freaky for me. I like it when it's nice and bite-sized and you just put the whole thing in your mouth and don't need to feel all the different organs and bits and bobs.
Right, yeah. Well, this is one of my favorite clams in Korea because it is kind of meaty.
Yeah.
You know, like the bajirak that we see in kalguksu, in the knife-cut noodles. There's not hardly anything in there.
No.
I mean, it's like the tiny little popcorn clams of popcorn clams.
Yeah.
But the sekomak and the chamkomak, they actually are pretty darn meaty. And if you cook them right, which I'm going to tell you how to do, they're not rubbery at all. There's just a lovely texture. And we made a delicious dish for you guys to check out today.
So this is
Peter to eat.
with the segomak. Komak. It's a sangyok, so we have to say that, which us as English speakers often mess up, but it's the komak.
Right.
Segomak.
Double K.
And so clam is how you can call it. You can call it a cockle as well? Or...
Sure, I guess a cockle, yeah.
Okay.
What's the difference
in England,
between a clam and a cockle?
Yeah, that's what I'm typing in right now.
I do not know.
Because clam seems like something that you can call many things, from the small, tiny little things in the clam chowder to like much bigger clams as well.
Right. So what makes it a cockle?
They are both bivalve mollusks, but they're quite different in terms of texture, flavor, and appearance. Apparently, according to Gemini, it says cockles have the heart-shaped profile. Clams mostly have a smoother shell.
Ah, gotcha.
Okey-dokey.
Oh, I should have brought a whole one in to show you how we pop them, too.
Ooh.
Because, yeah, that heart shape that they're talking about, it allows you to put a spoon in the hinge side and just twist it, and it pops right open.
Oh, really?
It's so convenient. Yeah. Whereas a clam, smoother, you can't do that. You're going to have to get in between the two shells and pry.
Yeah.
But being able to grab the hinge, because of the way it's got that kind of knuckle on it, I guess, and you just twist the spoon and... voila.
And that makes it much easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen many translations of today's dish that we're talking about, 꼬막무침, as like something marinated cockles, seasoned cockles, or a cockle seasoned salad, something like that.
Right, that's really important. Let's go ahead and get this picture up real quick if we can, because there's 2 distinct ways that have the same name, so it can be kind of confusing. This is called 꼬막무침.
Okay.
And I know you guys have probably heard me say muchim is like a Korean salad.
Yeah.
Does that look like a salad to you?
Not at all. It's just
Not
them in their
all.
shells with like a bit of seasoning on top, maybe?
Exactly, but this is still called 꼬막무침.
Okay.
So the seasoning on top would also be used in the salad. Maybe a couple other ingredients might go in. But then you have a fully dressed salad like I brought in today.
Yeah.
So there's two different ways that have the same name.
Okay.
But and similar flavor profile, but one of them is more of a salad than the other.
Yeah, this is more just letting the cockles shine, I suppose, without all the salady vegetables, right?
Yeah, and there's the other one. The previous picture where they're in the shells, I watch my kitchen neighbors do it all the time this time of year. They cook a huge batch of the cockles, of the seaweed, and then they're using the spoon and popping them.
Yeah.
And then they take half of the shell and put the meat. They make sure it's totally free from the shell, which is not hard to do.
Okay.
But then they put it right back in a shell and then lay it in a to go, for selling it. And then they make their sauce, which only has, depending on your style or the region of Korea, maybe 5 or 6 ingredients. And then they put a little bit on each one, sprinkle some sesame seeds on, and then sell it that way.
Oh, it's quite labor intensive then.
Yeah, kind of,
taking it out
right?
of the shell, then putting it back
single
in.
One.
Yeah.
And you're buying probably around 30 of these at a time and probably paying less than $10.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
They are reasonably priced, especially when in season, right? I'm assuming. Siska saying, so the cockles in this salad are raw? No.
No.
Right.
They are cooked. They are cooked just barely.
Yeah.
Though that's important. That you just barely want to cook them. You don't want to overdo it, or they can get rubbery.
Okay.
Real quick, if I could note on that, when we put up the first picture of the 3 types, I wanted to touch real quick on the picture that was on the far left, because that's the Kkomangmuchim.
Yeah.
And those are much rarer, but they are really good.
Okay.
They take, whereas the seaweed is just 1 year or 2 years to raise or farm, the Kkomangmuchim is more like 4 years.
Oh, goodness.
And so their shells are more like a stone. They have the ridges, but they don't have the little hairs. And quite a different, stronger flavor, which is lovely. But you got to find them. They're actually kind of much harder to find. They'll cost 3 or 4 times as much as the seaweed.
I don't think I've ever had or heard of Kkomangmuchim, to be honest. Yeah, you're getting these ones more regularly. We're going to try it in part 2 after some music. This one is Hoshi of 17 with Agi Jaggy Baby Honey. We're back for part 2 of Dish of the Day with Chef Ryan in the studio talking about seasoned cockle salad, I guess. Cockle is the star of the show today. We'll get to it in the studio. But first, Mata has sent in a message and these beautiful photos of clams. So you can see the difference. Wow. It's much smoother, isn't it, the shells?
Rainbow.
Wow, the colours, yeah.
I've never seen those before. Purple. And the shape is kind of different on the bottom right ones. Yeah. Are those that's interesting. Almost like a mussel shape to it.
These are ones that are found on the tide lines of Trinidad and Tobago beaches, particularly the East Coast, and they're a traditional food source for curries, soups, or coconut milk dishes.
Oh, I bet that's good.
That does sound delicious, doesn't
very cool. Mata writes in, sautéed clams in white wine with garlic bread or linguine.
Oh, linguine. I like a good clam pasta.
That is my dad's absolute favorite. Hey, Dad. Yeah, linguine with clam sauce. Yeah. Yum.
The linguine just works better than any other pasta noodle with the clams, right? Could you do it with cockles? Like put it into a pasta?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've done, there's so much amazing seafood here. Yeah. And I've played with just about all the different ingredients in European or Western ways. And of course it works.
Yeah.
You just got to get to know the cook time on it. With these cockles, there are some tricks. We've got some pro tips for you guys today to make it easier.
I'm looking forward to that. Lilith says, I love eating cockles, and my mum usually throws them into Chinese soups. I'm guessing, in soups as well, adding that depth of flavour, especially with the shells on. Like, that's what you'll often find with the pajinak that you were talking about earlier. Right, the shell is in there as well, and that just imparts some other flavours. Siska says, here in Indonesia, we eat boiled cockles with some ginger sambal. That's really yum. And so today, we'll get to how to make it and whatnot, maybe after giving it a try in the studio.
Yeah.
You said there's 2 ingredients I don't like, and in the song break, I found out the other one. Chrysanthemum greens. Oh. So is there no regular salad in there? It's all perilla leaves and
I was going to do
greens.
that, but I was talking to my kitchen neighbors. Yeah. There's a lovely old woman that works next door to my kitchen.
Yeah.
And she is from Jolanando down south, which is famous for its food.
Yes.
and seafood.
They're authentic there, right?
And, I was supposed to do rice first. What am I doing?
Oh, dear.
What am I doing? But she was like, no, don't put lettuce.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, really? Okay.
It's maybe not as traditionally Korean, I suppose. So if you look on the camera, guys, this is the Kkomangmuchim that Ryan has got. And then we've got the purple rice as well, which is said to be healthier for you. So I'll go for the rice first. Just a little bit. Oh, it's still piping hot. Did you put that in the microwave earlier?
The rice, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then that is the star of the show, right? That is the cockle.
That is the cockle, yes. And we'll go ahead and say that. No, well, let's wait. We'll say the directions a little bit later. All right.
Okay, so give it a try, right?
Okay.
So the other parts of this is what I actually fear more. So we've got these must be the chrysanthemum greens because the leaf shape is so
That's
different.
perilla.
Oh, that's perilla. And yeah, that's perilla as well. You can see it's a little bit hairy on the back. Oh, there's some onion in there. I like onion. And then maybe these stemmy bits. Are these the chrysanthemum greens?
Yes, that is chrysanthemum green.
Yay.
You guys know you could eat chrysanthemum greens?
Sukkak. As in chrysanthemums, the flowers?
Yep.
Oh, really? That's what we're eating here. Because in Korea, waste not, want not. We're eating lots of different things. And there is the gomak itself. So did you have to take these out of the shells yourself? Or
I did.
Okay. But not too difficult, like you said. They come out pretty easily.
I didn't want to do more than a kilo.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot. How does it taste, Ryan? I'm going to take down my mask.
I'm in heaven, man. I'm in heaven. This is great. But I like the sukkat. Chrysanthemum greens.
It's quite bright.
They are very bright. They stand out.
I don't like bright.
Not as bright as cilantro or the perilla, actually, for that matter. But
all right, let's give it a try. I've got the perilla. I've got the sukkat, chrysanthemum green. There's definitely a kick of spice as well.
It's lovely. It's lovely. It's not terribly spicy.
No.
I could see the spice building by, if you ate it, it could build up a little bit of that.
I don't know how much of the komak, the cockle, you're actually tasting, right? It's more the texture, the chew to it, and it's been cooked really well. But there's a lot going on there with all those other flavors, the perilla, the chrysanthemum, and then the marinade of the cockle muchim there.
Yeah, I do wish you could actually taste the cockle a little bit more. If I was going to make this again, maybe I'd add them in a little bit later.
I don't know. I don't think the dish itself is meant to have an amazing punch of seafoodness or something like that, right? In a muchim, you're eating it because of the muchim flavor and things like that, right?
That's so true.
And it's just a different
If you
bounce.
did it the other way, and I should have done both ways. What was I thinking? I should have brought the salad and the other way where it's sitting in the shell.
Just by itself.
And then you might have tasted more of just the komak.
No, but that's good. And the perilla and the chrysanthemum greens work well with all the other marinade. Otherwise, those flavors would stand up too much
For
to
you.
me.
Yeah.
And then you've got the raw onion as well. That's nice. That is really nice. I mean, I don't know how our listeners will feel about shellfish, right? And cold shellfish as well. But that's how it's eaten in many parts of the world, right?
This might be served warm sometimes. There are versions of this that are tossed with a komak and maybe some scallions, but don't have any greens. And that one is more common to be served warm with rice. You can order delivery and get a mountain of these that are seasoned.
Yeah.
And it comes with warm rice, and it's a heck of a lovely meal.
DQ says garland chrysanthemum. I used to really like it. I used to really not like it. It was a bit bitter, but now my taste buds have changed. I'm really into it as well. It looks delicious. And like I said, I'm not a fan of those two main ingredients here, but it tastes really good. And the gomak as well is cooked nicely. So it's not got a weird... I don't know, some shellfish, like I said earlier, if it's too big and there's too much going on inside, then I get a little bit queasy about it. But there's nothing like that going on. They're bite-sized, just little protein baskets, I suppose. That's really delicious. And with rice, of course. You're eating this with rice, 100%. You're not eating, when you see the title in English salad, you might think, oh, I'm just going to have this by itself. No. That would be too, as in Korean would say, like too ja극적, too stimulating, too 짜 as well, like too salty or too extreme in flavors, right? You couldn't eat that with no carbs to balance it out, right?
That's something it took me a while to learn here. Because I'd go to the markets, especially the markets that had like the side dish shops in the markets.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because you're walking through these old markets and then there's like 20 or 30 different side dishes ready to take home.
Yeah.
And back in the day, you could choose 3 for manwon.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. One of my favorites to get was the Kkomangmuchim that were in the shells. And that was one of the more expensive ones. So sometimes they'd give me a look like, you can't use that for the Sege Manwan, the 3 for 10.
You're being cheeky.
But I'd be like, oh, come on. And I didn't always make rice with mine. Just being a salt-loving American, I guess. I don't know. I was like, I don't need rice. And yeah, it took me a while to learn, but it really makes so much sense. Yeah. And in the long run, you definitely feel way better.
Yeah, like my mum will almost think I'm going to die if I don't eat rice with these dishes, you know. She'll be like, no, you've got to eat rice, at least like 1 spoon of rice, otherwise it's fatal. Of course, yeah, it's not going to affect you in the short term, but I think overall, like overstimulating your stomach, that's what they're thinking. They're thinking the rice kind of absorbs a lot of the saltiness, the spiciness and other things. And it really does, like you said, you feel better if you've got that balance, right?
I'm having lunch so often with my kitchen neighbors, and I told you they bang on the wall like, "Irwaba shiksa, come over, Ryan, it's time for lunch." And man, like I'm getting more and more addicted to the Korean diet every single day. Trust me, I just really feel better having. If you have a cheat day and go get a burger or pizza, do you feel better?
No, not at all. And when I went to the UK, I realised I can't go back now. Not I can't go back to the UK, but I can't go back from having regular Korean food.
Right.
Because after one day, a full day of just eating British cuisine for like a proper English breakfast,
you're done.
Sandwich or pie for lunch, and then like a roast dinner at dinner time. Oh my goodness, you feel so heavy, lethargic. And in Korea, we always talk about, you know, it being 너무 느끼해, like really oily and greasy and heavy in that way. And I didn't understand that at all when I first got here.
Right.
But now I need a pickle or I need some kimchi or something on the table, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like, I can't live as a Brit anymore. Like I need my... And so the 2 favourite meals I had in the UK were the 2 times we went to Korean restaurants. I feel so sad saying that. But it tasted 10 times better because I'd eaten loads of British food, which was great. But then that bang, it like really makes you feel healthy again and kind of resets your palate.
It's so true. Both of us, we've definitely become very Korean in our gut biome.
Yeah, it must be that. It must be that telling you need it. Because I was trying to tell this to my British friends. They're like, what are you talking about? We can eat this all year round.
Chips.
Yeah, and like, there's no need to balance it with this or that. And it must be to do with your body getting used to it, right?
That's true. I'm sure if we stuck it out longer than a month every year, you know, then
you'd be all right. So we're talking about cockles, 꼬막 at the moment because they are in season. Is it like the tail end of the season now? Are we coming towards the end?
I think it is. Okay. Because they've been around for a few weeks, right?
Yeah. Get them right now. Part 3, we'll tell you the recipe for them and I'll tell you what kind of nutrients are in there and this and that. Here's Stray Kids with Endless Sun. Today was Ryan in the studio, who does such a great job of bringing in the dishes, often making them as well. So this is your own handiwork.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I picked up the sekomak yesterday, and let me tell you guys a little bit about that because there's some cool tricks.
Are these ones live? You know, you get a lot live in Korea, they're live at the seafood market.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah. They're not in water. These things grow in the mud.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll go ahead and spill the beans on what we were talking about. Because they grow in the mud, guys, and they have very little oxygen to get, because they're not just in water, they actually have hemoglobin in their blood.
Oh, wow.
So most clams, they have clear blood. But these... have hemoglobin like we do, so their blood is a little red.
Oh.
So it's a little scary. That's why I didn't want to call this lovely dish here blood cockle salad.
I have seen that, right?
That
blood
sounds-
cockle.
Pichoge or
Or
Kkomangmuchim,
right? In this case. Blood cockle. And I have seen that in English, and it looks way scarier in English than Korean for some reason.
Right.
Yeah,
So I didn't want to lead with that today. So anyway, but that is the truth.
Do they look red then when you open them up?
Not that red.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
They're not scary.
Now,
red,
the
right?
bigger one that was in that picture we first showed today, that is the blood clam.
Yeah.
And I had those in Mexico back on the day, raw, which might have been a little sketchy.
Raw.
But they're so good.
Raw
in a
They taste
ceviche.
good.
Well, they put lime on
Okay.
it, but technically the acid in the lime cooking it takes a while. And we were eating these right away. They're just cracking them.
Wow.
And that's red. I mean, it's blood red because hemoglobin. Anyway, these are not as scary looking as those.
They are quite dark, though, compared to the other ones, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what you do when you're preparing these is you get water up to a boil, okay, and then add. Let's say you're doing a kilo of these, so you're gonna have like maybe 2 liters of water up to a boil.
Okay.
And then take 1 cup of just room temperature or cold water and drop it in there. Then you'll probably see little bubbles on the bottom of the pot.
Okay.
You know, like it's starting to boil, but not quite boiling. And that's what you want to start these. Because they do have a fairly dense shell and they're kind of meaty, you want it to evenly cook. If it was super boiling water, the outside of them would be cooking too fast while the inside hasn't started cooking, right? So that's why you do that. Then the other cool trick is you stir in just one direction. Choose clockwise or counterclockwise, and just keep going in that same direction.
Make a little whirlpool.
Not really. You just slowly move around. And the reason you do that is because then the meat inside the shell is going to stick to just one side. So that when you pop them, it's all on one side of the shell, which just makes your life a little easier late when you get to the next step.
Otherwise, it could go on both sides.
Right. And then when you pop it open, it might pull in 2 pieces and you waste it. Right.
Oh, that's a good tip.
It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
These are these old school Korean tricks I didn't know until I got here and started playing with these more. Then the other thing is when you cook these, the water will get some of the flavor of them. You're going to take them out when only just a few of them open. Don't wait until they're all open because then they'll be overcooked.
Okay. And some people, I think, have heard and think if they don't open, then they're bad, and things like this.
Yeah, we don't really do that here because we're not so worried about it being fresh because everything. I mean, we're right by the sea, so everything is really fresh.
Okay.
Now, if I find one that's cracked, I'll usually just throw it away.
Okay.
Just in
Better
case.
safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be more mud or something on it. But I'll just discard it.
Okay.
But
so a few open and then take them all out.
And then take them all out.
Okay.
And when you're pouring off that water, save it.
Oh.
And that's what you're going to rinse them in.
Okay.
So you take them and you can use the spoon to pop the shells on that little hinge. It's kind of a fun, super easy trick. You don't need more description. You would figure it out on your own so quick.
Anything.
Yeah, it's just a quick twist of the edge of a spoon. They pop open. You can use that spoon then to scoop out the meat, which comes out very, very easily. Hopefully just on one side of the shell now because you stirred it one direction.
Yeah.
And then you can put all those into a bowl. But then when it comes time to just kind of rinse them a little bit, because again, these grow in the mud and hopefully there's no mud left, because you've already soaked them probably and let them spit anything out. Or even the market people do that for you quite a bit. But you want to give them a little rinse, maybe. Rinse them in the water that you cooked them in. And that way you won't be washing off all the flavor of the komak.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, with just clean water, right? Yeah.
Then the next thing is if you want to make this style, then you're just going to put them all in one bowl.
Take the shells away, throw them away,
right? If you want to do the other style, then just put it back in one of the shells and then set them to the side.
Okay.
And you'll start making your sauce for them, your marinade for
Which
them.
isn't too complicated.
It's so easy. So again, if you're doing about a kilo of these, and that's a kilo of with the shell, so you're only left with like 300 or 400 grams after you discard the shells, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you'd have 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. you definitely want at least 1 tablespoon of gochugaru, or the red chili flakes.
Okay. Give it a kick.
Yep. Then a little bit of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of your favorite vinegar. Here it would probably be apple vinegar or rice vinegar.
Yeah.
Normally. Now, where a lot of muchims will have some sweet element, you don't have to have that with this one. Have you ever noticed that? That the Kkomangmuchims, they aren't usually that sweet.
This didn't taste too sweet.
Not too sweet. I did add a little bit of the plum extract, the meishiljeong here.
Okay.
But that's it. Now, but other muchims will have some sugar or honey or more meishiljeong, the green plum extract. But for komak, you don't want to do it too sweet. And that was another thing the lady, my next door neighbor, was telling me. My special tip yesterday.
You're right, though. It's never sweet, very sweet at all. Yeah.
More so, it's a little savory, and that comes from the toasted sesame oil that you got to add next. That's maybe about a tablespoon of that. Some people will grind up sesame seeds and add that as well. A lot of folks like to add a little bit of fish sauce, like an ekjot of some kind. Definitely garlic's got to be in there. You know it. We're making Korean food and making a muchim. There's got to be fresh garlic, minced up, mashed up. Really, that's about it, guys. Some variations will have some gochujang, some red pepper paste as well. What else?
You've said it's very simple and now listed so many ingredients.
What? Right? Okay, come on. Come on. On one hand, buddy, soy sauce, garlic, red chili flakes, vinegar.
And then optional green plum for a sweetener,
Sesame
but not necessarily.
Seeds.
Okay.
That's it, man. On one hand, baby.
And then maybe gochujang if you want, but that's not necessary either, the chili pepper paste. Yeah. And then you're adding the salad leaves, but like you said, you want to do it traditionally? You're not putting in like Western salad, like a Caesar or things like that.
I have seen it that way.
Yeah.
I definitely have. But when I was mentioning that to my neighbor, she was like, no. So I stuck with what was more common, which are the chrysanthemum greens and the perilla leaves. But often, guys, this doesn't have anything but the onion. And actually, it'd normally be Korean onion or scallions, kind of like the Korean leek or the scallions. Here I've actually got scallions and a regular Western onion, the yangpa.
Okay.
And that gives you a natural sweetness, the yangpa.
And then you just toss it all together and it's good to go. And this is a banchan, so you can keep it in the fridge for a little while and eat it. But
when you mix in the greens, you don't want to keep it in the fridge for too long. Yeah, it gets kind of soggy.
Okay.
So yeah, you want maybe keep your greens separate and you can add that in each time that you're about to serve it.
And then there you go. Voila. With a bowl of rice, of course. DQ's on your side, and she's got more cooking experience than me, saying it's not that many ingredients at all. I've cooked recipes with way more.
Thank you. See, Peter?
Yeah, and Jenga saying, food talk is love. And David Soroldoni says, this dish looks so delicious, Chef Ryan. Congratulations from El Salvador.
Obrigado.
Just a quick bit of info from our writer as well. They are rich in protein, iron, zinc, taurine, and vitamin B12. And those are all the things you see in like vitamin drinks. So that's what you want in your diet.
If you eat healthy, you don't need supplements, boys and girls. Yeah. Take it to heart.
And I think definitely with clams, but I'm assuming with cockles as well, you could go out and do a cheom, like an experience of getting these out of the mud flats, right, on the west coast and stuff, right? Yeah. It's a bit hard work with your back, like bending over. But you see
got
the
to
ladies,
put on those boots that go all the way up to your knees.
Because otherwise you will get caked in mud, right?
Oh, man. It's hard work.
Those are fun things to do with the kiddos as well. Once you find a cluster of them, they're like all there. Wow. Sometimes you're digging in the mud and there's nothing there, and then someone will find them and everyone will flock around them, much to that person's annoyance. And then you like get to take them. Give it a try. And then
have you dug this particular one before?
No. Like we've done the kijoge a lot, which are the long razor clams. Those are so fun.
Good.
Because they kind of squirt up and you have to catch them.
You use the salt to get them to come up. Right? Yeah. I've seen that.
And then clams we've done, but then we got told off because apparently you were meant to pay to do the experience there. Ooh. And they were like, not in this part of the sea. I'm not sure if it was a racket, like some gangsters or something. But yeah, we took a few, and then, Koreans are not that squeamish about finding stuff in the mud flats and then taking it home, putting it in a soup or a ramen and eating it. Yeah, it's totally fine.
It's nature, baby.
I think, Okay, Chef Ryan, thank you so much for coming in today. We'll have another dish next Tuesday.